Warning, this Warenotice video includes footage of a nighttime hydroflight performance that employed flashing lights, which may cause seizures for certain people such as those with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised. What's wiggling, Warenoticers? It's your boy, Mr. CEO, Big Daddy Shane Mumma of this beautiful, awesome, fantastic technology YouTube channel that is Warenotice. And guys, if you look around this video, you might notice, hey, it looks a little bit different than your usual videos, Shane. Well, that is true. It looks like a typical news type video. And now why is that? Is because in this video, I'm going to be interviewing Ben Merrell, a professional hydroflight athlete and also an owner of Power Up Watersports down in Florida. And now why is that? Why am I interviewing him? Well, it's because I was actually down in Florida too. Specifically, I was at the Baytowne Wharf area. It's like a little place with like restaurants and whatnot. And I was there, I was eating at a restaurant. I look out the window, I see hydroflight going on. Not this hydroflight that you see next to me. This is what happened at night. I'll get to that soon. But daytime hydroflight, it was bright outside. There's a hydroflight show and I'm like, wow. That's pretty cool. And I kept thinking, I kept debating in my head, should I go out and video that? Because obviously it's technology going on if you're flying in the air with water. I ultimately decided not to because, again, I was at the dinner table in the restaurant. So, yeah, but it was very cool to see. But then later, I was still at Baytowne Wharf, except I was eating once again. I was getting some delicious ice cream. And then once I was done with that, actually, I noticed, hey, there was another hydroflight show going on, except at night. It was dark out, and that's this, what you're seeing right here, with all those lights. So I'm like, wow. I've got to record this. This is technology. So I videoed it, and then I started doing research on what I was seeing. Found the guy who was performing, this guy right here, Ben Merrell, and scheduled an interview with him. So without further ado, let's start talking to Ben Merrell about hydroflight. Mr. Ben Merrell, glad to have you here. So first question, what does hydroflight mean to you? Obviously here we're on Technology YouTube channel. I'd love to hear about the technology behind this. So how does it work?
Hydroflight is a new sport where we've taken the power from a water pump, usually a jet ski, and we reroute it through a hose, and at the end of the hose is a device, either a jet pack, a jet board, a jet bike, and it gives you the power of flight. It's been an incredible run since 2012. I got a board early on. I've been flying ever since, shows and competitions. So to take the power of flight and give it to us through a means that's a lot safer, that's a lot easier to access, with a jet ski, and then you're over water, you're using water. Man, it's changed my whole life. It's been amazing. And so it's been huge for me.
So next question, can you explain how that suit you're wearing in that nighttime show with all those lights, how that works? What are the details behind that, the technology?
Absolutely. So a few years ago, I met another guy in the area where I'm at, and he's an electrical engineer. He fell in love with the sport, same as me, but he saw the potential to fly at night. So he took LEDs back in the day, like the RGBs, and now digital LEDs, and he found a way to make them saltwater proof, impact proof, so when we hit the water, they don't break. And he's made this incredible suit that can be operated with a DMX board. It actually caught the attention of SeaWorld, and it's been in their Cirque Electrique show the past couple years out in San Diego. And that really brings a whole other element to the show, to be able to fly at night in this crazy-looking, super bright LED light suit. And so it's been really cool to get those. You can check those out, Liquid Motion Lights, that's his company. And, yeah, they've been awesome.
Yeah, those lights were really cool. And even how they, synced up with, the water coming out of your board. Speaking of the board, could you explain, how that works, how you control that, how it's I saw it was hooked up to a jet ski, the basics of that stuff, how hydroflight works?
Right.
Yeah.
So on the jet ski, what you need is the thrust from the jet ski. We've rerouted it using a U-pipe and a hose. So normally you could have somebody on the jet ski providing power. If you noticed in my hand that night, I had a remote control. We can start, stop, and control the throttle of the jet ski. So what we're doing is just sending power to this board that I'm strapped to. From there, it all comes down to the human machine, right? The balance and, the comfortability. You learn the first day, you learn to balance and spin and maybe dive in and out of the water. And now we're at levels where we're doing front flips, double front flips, triple back flips. So it's crazy. It's part machine providing the power, and then it's the human it that's controlling. You know, you watch a guy like on a skateboard and, you know, other things and the amazing things people can do. We're just starting to tap into this sport as it's so new. So I'm excited to see what's going to continue to develop.
Yeah, it looks very, very cool. Obviously looks awesome, but I have to ask, how dangerous is it? Have you ever hurt yourself? Anything like that? Do you feel safe?
Like anything, going back to that skateboard, you know, you watch guys on skateboard and little, you know, flipping the board around, but then you take it to X Games like Mega Air. You know, as somebody tries it out for the first time and they go 5-10 feet in the air, if they fall in the water, maybe a belly flop, nothing serious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think at that level it's really safe. And then like anything, as you start to develop on something, you get comfortable, you start pushing boundaries. You know, in competitions now, we're pushing power that takes us up to about 65 feet. We're dropping in huge tricks. We're racing the hose down. You know, get under the hose before that drops on you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say we bring it to an extreme level. But for anybody to even want to just come out and try it can be very, very safe and controlled in an environment with somebody that knows what they're doing, providing the power. So yeah, I mean, at some levels it's safe, but of course we're going to keep pushing it to the extreme.
Yeah, and of course you are an expert, and as an expert performer with the Hydroflight, obviously, I've got to ask, what is your favorite trick that you do? I mean, I've seen you doing those spinning, I've seen you doing the flips. What's your favorite?
Yeah, so you know, over time that continues to evolve, that you work on a trick. For a long time it was a double backflip, and then a front flip, and now we have something called a thread the needle, where you create a loop in the hose, mm-hmm. or you just drop under the hose, and it creates there's a certain level of danger there you got to get through before the hose drops on you or before the loop closes. Mm-hmm. So I've been adding that element of the thread the needle to a lot of different tricks and combos I've been doing, mm-hmm. and that's created some excitement for me. So I would say adding that combo to what I've been doing has been the most fun.
Yeah. So, obviously, I saw you at Baytowne Wharf down in Florida, but if anyone else wants to see you live, besides just in this video, obviously, where can they do that?
So, we have a rental where we're teaching new people to do it and doing demos all the time at Power Up Watersports, mm-hmm. and that's on Okaloosa Island in the Panhandle, Palm Beach, Florida.
Awesome, awesome. So, thank you so much for being here, Ben. I'll have your social media links down in the description, and they're also on the screen right now, as you guys can see. So, thank you once again for being here. Thanks for your patience. It was great.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep. And with that, guys, that'll be all for this Warenotice video. I hope you enjoyed my interview and all that footage of that awesome Hydroflight show going on. Big thanks once again to Ben for coming out here, being actually the first person ever to be interviewed via a video call on Warenotice, so that's pretty awesome. And he was definitely a good sport setting this up and everything. Actually, guys, fun fact, that interview that you saw, that was the second time I interviewed him, because the first time, sadly, the audio of him talking didn't work out, so I had to call him back and interview him again. It was very nice of him. So yep, big thanks to him. And yeah, if you enjoyed this Warenotice video, just like always, if you're new here, definitely be sure to smash that subscribe button and subscribe for more awesome technology videos just like this one. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. Warenotice out, and I feel like I'm on a news show, right? Isn't that cool?